everywhere.
Who's everywhere?
Bruce, what happened?
He's hurt.
His face.
Don't worry about me. You're hurt too, Robin.
We need to get him somewhere, but we can't bring him to the hospital.
We'll bring him to the cave.
Did they do this to you?
It was John. He tried to kill me with a crowbar.
The Court of Owls?
Does that name sound familiar to you?
Have you heard the nursery rhyme?
The nursery rhyme?
Beware the Court of Owls that watches all the time.
Are we really going to believe that Bruce Golden Boy Wayne is Batsy because some writing told us so?
There are no coincidences in this city, my friend. No, no, no.
What? What?
They left the flames. They were the ones who left the flames.
How could some owl do that?
They hear all. They see all.
Who, Riddler? Who?
The rhyme, my friend. The rhyme.
What are you talking about, Riddler? Oh boy. That was a close one.
The Talon.
So you're the Batgirl.
Yep, that's me.
Cheap name.
How? You've only seen me from afar, the same way I've seen you.
Till now.
I guess someone else knows now.
I had Ted Kord, Oliver Queen, and Lex Luthor on my list, but Bruce Wayne never struck me.
How come?
You just seem so normal.
You saved Robin and I's life, so you must be acting in goodwill.
Only the best intentions.
Thank you, Batgirl.
I think that warrants for the both of you to know who I am under the mask. My name is Barbara Gordon, daughter of Commissioner James Gordon.
Whoa, I didn't expect that one.
Funny. I always figured.
I know you've been working side by side with my father these last few years. I was inspired by what my father does for the city and its people and what you do for it as well. I wanted to do the same.
Just like your father.
So, I guess you should know who I am.
And you're Dick Grayson.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
I pieced it together when you said your parents were murdered a few years back. The acrobatic skills, and then after finding out Bruce was Batman, the only option for a sidekick would be his ward.
Bruce is right. You're like Jim Gordon Jr.
I mean, yeah, you know, he is my father after all. If my dad ever found out. And Bruce?
I'm sure you are well aware of what happened to my parents as a boy.
I am.
Without that faithful knight, there would be no Batman to protect Gotham.
Look who's back.
Lucius.
You went AWOL for a night or two.
Sure did.
What's the latest, Mr. Wayne?
Things were bad, but I didn't foresee it getting worse.
Do we know who took Alfred?
Yes, and he is alive.
What?
There's been a secret society running Gotham right under our noses for centuries. They go by the Court of Owls.
I've heard the tale.
Mm-hmm.
And you, out of all people, didn't know about this? You keep tabs on almost everyone in this city, Bruce.
After they got me, I was confined to an ever-changing dreamlike room.
What did they look like?
They all wore different clothing, typically well-dressed, but the key feature they all had was a white mask in the shape of an owl.
That explains the owl that flew by.
I was told the bat is the true enemy of the owl.
How'd you manage to get out of there?
I used my gauntlets to break loose.
I knew those would come in handy.
I barely made it out of there alive. There were hundreds of them.
Jesus.
From there, my surroundings kept changing around me, as if I were hallucinating. But I wasn't. It was all real.
What the?
That was where I saw Alfred, with barely any life in him. He was chained up against a giant owl statue. One of his eyes were missing, but before I could get him out of there, the Talon came for me. My surroundings changed once again.
Alfred is alive? We need to go get him before it's too late.
We can't just rush into this, Dick. You heard how many of them there were. You don't know what we're getting into.
You said it yourself, Bruce. He had barely any life in him.
We need to find out more about the court before we go chasing ghosts.
I I thought I lost you right there. I don't want to lose anyone else.
We'll get him back, Dick. We will.
Did you see or hear anything else?
The last words I heard spoken were the Waynes and the Graysons are not what they seem.
What?
Well, if you guys are hiding anything...
What? There's nothing my family could possibly have to hide. We've been in the circus for as long as I can remember. Are we in any danger, Bruce?
No, Dick. We will get to the bottom of this. They also know of my parents and grandfather.
Could they have been hiding something?
I don't know what there would be to hide, Lucius. My parents always wanted the best for Gotham and its people.
Penguin, at the Wayne Ball, mentioned what happened between Alan Wayne and Stanley Cobblepot. What if there was more to that?
What Penguin said was true, but highly exaggerated to put a stain on my family's name. We find out what the Court of Owls is really about, and then, and only then, we go get Alfred and put an end to them once and for all.
I've known about them for years, my friend, yet no one would believe me.
I could see why they wouldn't. The whole idea of a secret society running Gotham from the shadows is a tad bit ridiculous. Wouldn't you say, old man?
Impractical. Have you seen what this world has brought us? The Justice Society of America, Superman, the Doom Patrol, Bruce Wayne running around as a bat in news doing what is right for Gotham. A secret society is not very out of the ordinary, my friend.
It makes sense for Brucey boy to be our man.
And why is that, my friend?
The punchline was right in front of our faces, Riddler.
The answer to the greatest riddle of all time.
His parents were killed right in front of his face when he was a teensy little frightened boy.
He became the Batman to ensure his fate would not be repeated.
What made you go after Batsy?
All my life I was ridiculed. I wanted to expose those individuals for who they really were. Show Gotham what the GCPD really was. Batman got in the way of that.
Sounds like something he'd do.
After that, I joined forces with the Penguin. We were the common enemy of the Bat. But in the end, he foiled us! I became intrigued with him. I wanted to know more and more and more.
Oh.
What? What?
There could be only one.
No, no, no! You foiled me again! I'm just gonna keep calling you friend. Who are you?
I am your friend, aren't I?
What made you go after him?
Oh, Riddler, Riddler.
Tell me!
He who smiles.
Is that who you are?
Batman brings me that smile.
Are we going to stop him?
Oh, we will, my friend.
I know exactly where we will find him.
And where would that be?
He is likely going after the court, and luckily, I believe I know where their base of operations is at.
Well, isn't that magnificent?
The Court of Owls is at the center of Gotham's corruption. This is everything I've been waiting for. We'll be taking the Bat and the court out all in one!
You know, you really are good, Riddler.
What is Gotham City to me, Bruce Wayne? In a single word, home, family, purpose. But the truth, the real truth is, I couldn't answer the question. But then I remembered something, friends. I remembered something my father, Thomas Wayne, used to say to me before bed sometimes. Back when I was a boy, and I'd had a bad day, when I'd fallen down in the ground or skinned my knee. At the end of a day like that, he'd pat my shoulder and he'd say, "Bruce, tomorrow is one dream away." That was his phrase. Sentimental, I know, but still, it worked for me. Now, as most of you know, my father died when I was just a boy. He was gunned down, along with my mother, in Crime Alley across town. And as you can imagine, the days following his death were the worst of my life. Days of anger and fear and sadness. Still, that phrase, My father's phrase, tomorrow is one dream away. It kept coming back to me, and deep down, I knew, much as it hurt right then, things would get better. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, Gothamites, citizens, friends, my point is this. When circumstances are challenging or frightening, asking ourselves what our city is pointless. Because all we see when we look around at the buildings and the streets below our shoes will be our own fears, our own frustrations, our own demons. But if we stop looking to the present and the past, and instead we look to the future, if we ask ourselves what can be, what will be tomorrow, then we're asking the right question. Because to hope, to dream, to predict, is to shape the city yourself rather than be shaped by it. So putting my money where my mouth is, next month, Wayne Enterprises will begin investing aggressively and immediately in Gotham's future. Working with various domestic design firms, we've already set in motion an initiative to rebuild some of Gotham's most derelict industrial neighborhoods. From there, we will plan on moving boldly to expand and modernize Gotham's public transit system. I cannot tell you how excited, how hopeful I am about these plans. Much more will be revealed in the coming days, but for now, I ask you to do this. Look past what Gotham was, what Gotham is, and imagine with me just for a moment. Gotham as it will be, as it should be. Thank you. Now what I ask of you, friends, is to invest with me. Invest in Gotham's future, because I promise you, if we can all do that together, a better, brighter Gotham is one dream away.
Well done, Bruce. Real inspiring.
Thank you, Dick.
Though you did fail to mention the myriad of new bat bunkers you'll be building throughout the city.
Huh. Must have slipped my mind. Next presentation, maybe.
And you just gotta show the Batmobile while you're at it.
I must say, that was quite the speech, Bruce.
I don't think we've met.
The name's Lincoln March, Mayor-elect and underwrote Leslie Tompkins' satellite clinic on the east side.
Oh, yes. That Lincoln March. I'm familiar with what you've done for the clinic.
Wow. I'm impressed.
I tend to do that.
Does that mean I have your vote?
That depends. Do I have yours?
On this? I'm certainly interested.
Personally, I'm interested in what you'll do for this city.
I believe in what you are doing for this city. This initiative to rebuild Gotham. It's a good thing. And to be frank, I see a friend in you.
A cynic would say you see an opportunity.
That's true. And a cynic would say you're spearheading this new Gotham initiative for the image of your company because it's a public holding, and so on, for private purposes.
Is that what the gossips say?
Some.
Maybe they're right. Dick and I should be going.
You know, Bruce, I lost my parents when I was a boy, too.
What do Thomas and Martha have anything to do with this conversation?
And didn't you lose your parents as well, Dick Grayson?
Back off, man. Sensitive subjects here.
It's strange, isn't it? The way it's just the details. The details that stay with you. I can barely remember my mother's face anymore.
Dick, honey, it's okay.
Oh, son. Do you know how terrified I was in my first go-around without the net?
I know I could do it. It's just I'm scared to die. I'm scared I'll fall to my death. I'm scared I'll lose you guys.
I promise, both your father and I aren't going anywhere. And you certainly aren't either. The only place we'll be going is to the other side of that trapeze.
Yeah, what your mother said. If you aren't ready to go without the net, we can always postpone it to a later date. I know you're ready, son.
No, it's fine. I got this. Yeah, I got this.
Are you sure, kiddo?
You're sure?
I'm sure. I got this. Yeah.
But, see, I remember this pin. Clear as day. This pin she was wearing the day of the accident. I'd made it for her at school in ceramics. It was this little heart. but it was all lopsided, with one side bigger than the other. She was wearing it pinned to this fancy dress of hers. My ugly little pin. I don't remember the drunk driver hitting us. I don't remember much of the accident.
Ready, everyone?
Dad,
Just like we practiced.
I do remember seeing the pin on the ground, though, as paramedics took me away. The pin, perfectly preserved, not cracked or broken, just lying in the road. All I wanted was for someone to pick it up.
He's got nothing left. No relatives, no brothers, no sisters, or anything of the like. This poor kid's got nowhere to go, Bruce.
I'll take him in.
I lost everything I had that night. For a long time after, I lived in a state of total hopelessness. I hated the world. But then, I got funding for school. I was able to go to City College. The city saved me, Bruce. Gotham saved me. It gave me a purpose when I was alone, just like I'll bet it did for you. When I look at you, I see an ally, a real one. And as I'm sure you know, this city is a city where allies are few and far between. Especially now.
Especially now. Why?
Something bad has reemerged in Gotham, Bruce. Something ancient and powerful. And evil.
Ah! Shit.
Harvey Bullock.
If you think you could scare me!
Lincoln!
Whew!
Careful, Dick.
I know to be careful, Bruce.
Go for the solar plexus.
And mandibular nerve.
Ha! Huh. Doesn't make any sense.
What, that he's not even flinching and we're applying over 100 pounds of pressure?
But it only takes 11 pounds of pressure to collapse a windpipe.
Bruce Wayne, the Court of Owls sentenced you and Lincoln March to death. Your time is now.
He talks?
Now he does.
How I love ending Wayne's.
What did you say? Historically, cities are places of superstition. After all, people come to them from all over the world, from small towns and villages, places they've lived for generations, to inhabit giant mazes of glass and steel, shadow and merciless light. They'd cling to beliefs from home about what keeps you safe, what to avoid. A black cat crosses your path, he'll be plagued by bad luck. A 13th guest at a dinner means someone in the party will die at midnight. My grandfather, Alan Wayne, understood the power of superstition. As such, he was one of the first men to eliminate a 13th floor from one of his buildings. Funny thing though, to really make good on the superstition, you were supposed to leave a small space in the building, between floors 12 and 14. A false floor to contain the bad luck of number 13. A space sealed off from the world, inaccessible. Just a blank slot in the building, an absence like a breath held when passing a graveyard. A space just big enough, in theory, for a man to hide in. Perhaps a killer dressed like an owl. I'm sorry about Bullock, Jim.
Whoever did it is behind the rest of this. His coin was left at the crime scene. It's got an owl on it.
The same owl I saw in their base of operations.
Their base?
They're real, Jim.
That damn nursery rhyme. The guy who took out March must have been the Talon.
That's right.
I think we jinxed it when we said the city was becoming more and more chaotic by the day.
You know where we are right now.
Where?
Owls are one of the rare birds that don't build their own nest. Instead, what they do is find nests abandoned or in use by rival birds and take them over. In essence, they invade an enemy's territory.
One of their nests, I presume. I don't get into the field as often anymore since my promotion.
Uh-huh.
Still seems ancient. The city looks to be out of the 1800s.
It is.
Right.
June 22nd, 1891.
You always gotta check behind the paint.
A map.
It looks to be only one piece, though. Where does it lead? What is it off?
Their base.
Weren't you there? Don't you already know where it is?
I was taken there.
I see.
I can't believe you wore that thing.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know, just looks sort of tight.
Yeah, it was.
I'll bet.
What happened with Lincoln March the other day really got me thinking, Barbara.
What did he say?
Him and Bruce were on the topic of their parents, and that's when he turned to me.
Dick,
Lincoln brought up how you remember the details, and
I can assure you that if your parents saw what you've become, they'd have the biggest smile on their faces.
my parents would eat all this Robin stuff up.
I can't relate to losing a loved one per se, but I can say that my mother walked out on us when I was too young to remember it. She just left my dad to raise a girl all by himself. Jeez, can you imagine how hard that would have been?
I'm sorry, Barbara, but at least you have him, right?
I know, but he makes me want to pull my hair out sometimes. And you can call me Babs. That's what my friends call me.
Got it, Babs.
Alrighty then, Richard.
No, just no. You know, the way Lincoln spoke about the court seemed like he had some knowledge of them.
You think we should go see him?
I should probably ask Bruce if...
He'll be fine. Come on, Grayson.
Alright, well, it looks like we're taking a trip to Gotham General Hospital.
3 down, 1 more to go.
Our map's almost complete. This one's different from the others.
A dinner.
That smell.
Rotting flesh.
Dear God.
It looks like they keep their nests intact.
The first one was 1891, then 1950, 1990. This one must be recent meaning.
These bodies are fresh.
Think the court murdered their own?
Conflict in Circle happens all the time.
Must have left the bodies here to prove a point. They wanted someone to find them.
It certainly seems that way. June 13th, 2006.
Ah! You know, we could probably make a mint if we sold all.
Quiet. Bingo.
Took you that long, but well done. Come on. Do the two of you not recognize me? It's only been a year and a half.
Nygma.
With everything going on, him breaking out of Arkham went right under our noses.
I had a little help from my friend.
You're going back to where you came from.
You see, I'm not here to fight with you, Batman. I'm here to help you.
Everything you did was built on lies. How can you expect me to trust you?
Riddles do not lie, Batman. They only unmask the truth. That is all I was doing. Nothing wrong then, and nothing wrong now!
You killed numerous people, Nashton.
Nashton did not kill those people. Edward Nygma the Riddler did. It was all for a cause, James Gordon.
A cause? Damn you, Riddler. You killed some good men. Crooked men, but good people. Not for this godforsaken city.
Well, it got what was coming for him all those years back. The one good deed they did.
I don't want to hear his name come out of your mouth again. Do you hear me?
Jim, keep it together. What do you know about the Court of Owls?
You know me. I would have known about them for who knows how long now. It was quite amusing watching you go in circles, pacing back and forth, looking for the clues while I knew of their existence this entire time.
And you didn't think to tell us, huh?
That would have taken the fun out of it.
What else do you know?
All that is known. You know, my friend and I can take you through the labyrinth. Where they are, let us give you a hand, Batman.
Who's your friend, Nygma?
Are we really going with this?
That'd spoil the grand reveal he wants to dedicate to you, Batman!
Then that's the end of this discussion.
You know, my little solved riddle. We both have the same goal here. But if you get in our way, we won't hesitate to take you down.
It seems you now know.
And have met our friend.
You will die just like your father, along with the Wayne's sins.
Lincoln March.
Aren't you a little too injured to be jumping out of a window?
Robin and Batgirl?
That's us.
Lay down, Mr. March. You're injured.
Oh, I'm just fine. I need to get out of here.
Why are you in such a rush to get out of here?
I need to get out of here. I can't be late. You can't miss it either.
Was he like this last time?
Worse than before.
The labyrinth.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Doesn't ring a bell.
They see all.
Lincoln?
Hey, take some deep breaths. What is your affiliation with the Court of Owls, March?
Wouldn't you like to know, Dick Grayson?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Look at Barbara Gordon on the floor there. I don't think her father would be fond of this.
How do you know that name?
The Court of Owls knows all. They told me my truth, just like they know you and Bruce's.
The Waynes and the Graysons are not what they seem.
They've been awaiting you, Grayson.
What are you talking about?
The Court of Owls will be seeing you now.
You alright?
Totally fine.
You heard that right.
We gotta get to that labyrinth.
It's gotta be their base, right? Where the map leads to?
Please, please stop. I have to make sure your skin is just right for my creation. Now let's make that flesh into a perfect doll-like complexion.
Barton Mathis. The mind behind the dolls of human flesh. Dollmaker. What a joy!
Aren't you the John Doe?
One could say that.
You want me to create one for you?
No. You see, Dollmaker, I have a little date coming up.
Us maniacs aren't really the dating types.
A date with destiny. A date with my destiny.
A new look it is, then.
grab my hand.
I know.
Edward Nash, grab my hand.
I know, Batman. I know.
Edward!
The GCPD, you and your little bat family, the Court of Owls, you're all the same. You are what is wrong. You think you saved this city.
You're slipping, Edward.
Letting you save my life wouldn't save me.
No! Are you alright, Jim?
There's a few bruises and some mild burns. Nothing that I haven't had before. Lost my flashlight. How about you? Batman?
It's nothing.
Was it one of the owls?
Don't say it.
What's gotten into you?
Do you not understand?
All this needs to end before any more lives are lost.
I could have saved him, Jim. I could have.
Did all you could. Riddler chose his path.
Just like Alan. Just like Thomas. And just like Martha.
The Waynes and the Graysons are not what they seem. You will die just like your father, along with your sins.
I can't continue to let them get to this city and the ones around me.
What did the one in the cloak mean by, just like your father? Who's your father, Batman? How would they know who you are?
Jim, you know our deal. Nobody, not even you, must know who I am under the mask, not for any reason.
Your father is directly involved. Becomes a concern.
There's one thing I ask you in all of this.
Anything, Batman.
Check on Barbara. Don't get caught up in all of this.
Damn.
Bruce,
You're back.
do you have the map?
So we go into the sewers of Gotham.
That's what it looks like. The map. It's all charred. What happened?
They were there again. They said I died just like my father, with my sins. Blew up the whole building.
Did everyone make it?
Riddler was there too. He asked me and your father to work with him, Barbara.
Well,
I was able to save your father. He's fine. But Nygma didn't want saving. He said that would make him just like the GCPD, the court, and us. They'd never listen.
We saw Lincoln March.
What are you talking about?
The way he spoke about the Court of Owls, Bruce, he seemed to be very familiar with them.
You should have run this by me first, Dick.
I'm sorry, Bruce. It was in the heat of the moment. I get it. I know, I was reckless.
it wasn't something you or my dad were going to do.
You could have been killed.
Bruce, what if they've already killed Alfred?
Don't even say that.
He knows who we are, Bruce, even Barbara. What he said, he made it seem like they know our every move. Almost like they can see the future. I know it sounds ridiculous, but...
What did March say?
He said he couldn't be late to something, and that we couldn't either.
The labyrinth?
Rob!
Do they have owls underwater?
That's no owl.
You're not welcome here.
Crocodile?
The Batman. I will remember your sentence.
It talks?
I am Killer Croc. Next time, Bat.
I hope we don't have to see him again. He's scaly.
This way.
Ah! What the heck?
Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Who are you?
You don't recognize me, my son.
No. No!
I'm your mother, Bruce.
You are not my mother.
You are right. I am her sins.
Ah!
Oh my god.
You can't keep doing this to yourself, Barbara.
Dad and Mom?
I can do whatever I want, Jim. It's the only thing that makes me feel any better.
I can help you, Barbara. You just need to let me.
I don't want your fucking help, James.
Damn it, Barbara.
Hush. You're safe with Mommy, Barbara.
You know why James Worthington Gordon does what he does, Batgirl?
You're not my father.
You are right, Batgirl. I am just as Martha here to Bruce.
What went on for centuries comes to an end today.
He helps you because he wants to do what he couldn't do for your mother.
Ugh.
It's just the truth, Barbara.
You're not my father. You're just a figment of my imagination.
You're right about one thing, but you see, we see all.
Haley's circus? No. I wonder if Mom and Dad are here. No, Dick. Stay in control. It's all in your head. So we're gonna play the quiet game then, okay?
Dick Grayson.
None of this is working. You aren't getting in my head.
My name is William Cobb.
Are you trying to be personable?
I know it's been on your mind ever since Bruce told you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It'd be quite unfortunate if Alfred Pennyworth's life came to an unfortunate and abrupt end.
Don't you say his name!
You see, young Grayson, Haley's circus was a selection ground for the Talons because of valuable contenders for their acrobatics, of course.
My family has no tie to the Court of Owls.
And that's what you had thought.
That's not them.
Not them, Dick. Not them. But they knew. They didn't want to tell you the past to keep you safe. To protect you.
Who are you under that mask?
I told you, Dick. I am William Cobb. I am your grandfather.
My grandfather is dead. What?
And you know, you are next in line to be the next Talon until, you know, your parents were murdered and Bruce took you in.
Who murdered my parents?
That is something you must find out on your own, young Grayson.
Tell me!
Fulfill your destiny, and then you will know all. You will know who murdered your parents.
Where is Alfred?
Maybe that's something you would have known if you had fulfilled your destiny.
What is going on?
Master Dick.
Alfred!
I saw all of that.
You did?
I did. And let me just say, I am very proud of you, Master Dick.
Thank you, Alfred.
Maybe one day you'll wear the cowl.
I doubt it, but thanks, Alfred.
That must have been very difficult to take in.
I'll be fine, Al. I'll be fine. Whoa, your eye.
It's nothing, sir.
You haven't changed a bit.
They're everywhere!
Don't you see? The 13th hour. It's upon us! They're coming!
Watch where you're going, Wayne.
Wayne?
And their nests are all around!
So that's what all that money does to your head, huh?
My grandfather.
The Court of Owls sentenced Alan Wayne to death.
What are you?
That is left for you to interpret, Bruce Wayne.
What you have been doing to Gotham and its people for centuries comes to an end.
You've laid in our nests, but it looks like you've missed one of your own.
You had one of your bases in Wayne Tower?
No. In your grandfather's estate.
You were the ones responsible for his murder.
You were sentenced to death because you were beginning to become a nuisance, just like your grandfather did.
What about my parents?
They left before we could. The Graysons are not unlike the Waynes. There is more to that, Bruce.
Don't you do anything to Dick.
Dick's destiny is his destiny. Whatever happens there has already been decided.
What are you going to do to him?
Your mother and father, Bruce.
Don't you hurt my son.
I couldn't be more happy to have you here today. Take a seat. Thomas Wayne.
Carmine Falcone.
I never thought the day would come where I'd have the Thomas Wayne in my company. All right, so what is it?
I need Luke Veidt dead. Carmine.
The golden boy of Gotham wants to get blood on his hands.
He has a story that cannot get out there for the sake of my family.
What does this story entail, Thomas?
I'm not going to disclose that information.
You know, if you want me to get someone to do the job, you gotta give me the details.
Carmine.
Wayne. How would your family like it if they knew you wanted to have someone put down like a dog?
This is both Martha and I's doing.
So both of you are the Grim Reaper. What about little Bruce? I'm sure he'd like to know Daddy's a murderer.
Stop it.
What's so detrimental about this story, huh?
Your father, a murderer. Your mother?
Stop.
Only the truth, Wayne.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
You cannot handle the truth. Your parents were sentenced to death because of the threat they posed to us. They thought they were selfless individuals helping others, but really, they were just selfish and sick in the head. Just like you, Bruce.
No! Dick. Alfred.
Master Bruce.
Bruce.
No, it's not them.
The Dark Knight Fall.
You're back.
Alfred. Dick?
You got him.
Babs.
I see you've picked up another daring child along the way, Master Bruce.
It's not what it looks like.
The owl showed me something that I didn't want to see.
The owl.
I know what you meant now, Bruce.
Dick.
What did it show you?
It's more of them than I've ever seen before.